All right. Well, hello, friends. I'm here today with Merthe and Eden, and they've been here for, well, almost 3 months now. It's been super amazing for me.
Likewise.
I don't like to play favorites. This has just been really fun, though, for me. My family always reflects when I come back just how happy and filled up I am after spending time with you two.
That's great. I'm glad.
uh, Today, my thought is that, ideally we'd have a slick video that had all kinds of footage of cool things you've done and challenges. And I've not brought a camera along barely at all during our adventures. So there may be once in a while a little clip, but we're not going to cater to the algorithm at all here. We're just going to ramble and talk as long as we want, or as long as the battery on the on the phone goes. So if you're watching this, I don't know, it might look there might be an hour timestamp on here or something like that. If if that's the case, yeah, just come along if you want. I think we're gonna probably have some fun and interesting talks. But
Yeah.
yay, okay.
Hopefully.
So, boy, where to start?
Yeah.
Can we ask first of all why you did this? I mean,
Man,
Why did I
go
do this?
straight for that question. Why don't you go first? I can make you do that so I can think.
Okay, that's great. Well, I have a background. I guess I have a background in a spiritual sect or like religious sect, and I was very I was very involved in that and very deeply religious. And then I couldn't do it anymore, and I had some years of searching, and I realized that my world was divided up in parts fighting each other, being good and bad, and then it occurred to me that maybe that division wasn't really there, and there might be a way to see things as a whole and feel things as a whole, and that everything may have its place. So I started doing Ki Aikido and found a really nice teacher and learned that there is a way to go about things without thinking about them, and that in the process of having the energy move through you, that you can kind of get a new feel for your world where things do come together and judgment is not so much there anymore. And um, then after like 10 or 12 years, there was a moment when I felt I wanted to explore a new point of view and add nature to it more, because Aikido is very nice, but it's in a dojo and it's between walls, and it's very um, there are set rules for what is there and what is not there. And I thought I would needed some more, a bit more playfulness in my life, and so well, I started watching videos on bushcraft, on wondering about nature, and then Kenton and Rebecca came along in my life. I started being one of their patrons and started reading the books. And um, something said to me, look, if you want to use the time you have as a healthy younger woman, you better get started now and go do something with it. And I never traveled that far, actually. I travel within Europe where I live, but I don't like flying that much, and don't want to spoil nature by loving it. So, but this time I felt
feel
look,
that.
this is worth it. I think I can become more valuable to other people, more valuable to the ones I love by opening up to this, and just jumping into that unknown. I was really scared going here.
Yeah.
But it has paid off so much more than I could ever imagine. So I'm really, really grateful for all our time together. And now it's time for Eden to think of something to say.
Pressure's on.
Okay, well, I've told this story. I've told like the long version of this story off camera, but basically, I have a very similar background where I grew up in a religion and then I went on this whole journey after and I just kind of gave up after a while because I wasn't finding anything. And then I was in New Zealand. I've traveled a lot. I don't know. I'm like addicted to traveling. I've been to a ton of countries, and I was in New Zealand, and I was actually stuck there during COVID, and lockdown happened. So I was in this town, living in a hostel, cleaning rooms, and working as a waitress until I couldn't go to work because of COVID. And I was just there, and I had a lot of time to think. And I saw the mountains across the lake of this beautiful town in Wanaka where I was stuck. And I would go outside and walk around because you could go out, you just have to like stay away from people. So I would go on these walks at night and I would listen to my favorite band, Wardruna, and I just felt like there's something missing here. Like there's like a nature connection missing in my life. Like it's not just that it's like pretty to look at. It's like there's something I need. I need to connect with it. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, so that's when I started actually watching Kenton's videos because I thought, yeah, I want to learn more about this, and I like found his channel like a long time before that, but I just like subscribed and never watched the videos because I just wanted to like keep track of it, and then I remembered like, So I watched the videos, and I was like, okay, I really like the things that Kenton and Rebecca and Mirabelle and Liliana have to say, um, and I also remember when I was a kid. I really wanted to do what the Boy Scouts were doing, but I wasn't allowed to because I was a girl. And there's like that childhood need that never got met. And I have wanted, oh, sorry, the
Yeah,
ADHD
No, we're
during the
seeing
video.
that
There's a
too.
cool spider right there.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I
Me
love
too.
spiders so
That's awesome.
much.
I love it.
Right in the
That's our
video.
Eden.
Hello. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so where was I? Thanks, spider. Got me all distracted.
You were watching?
Yeah, okay, watching the
Yeah,
videos. Oh, I want to do what the Boy Scouts were doing. Yeah.
Boy
So,
Scouts. That's right.
so I wanted to learn all this bushcraft stuff. I just really like wanted to learn, and I was just like looking up on YouTube, looking up on websites, just trying to figure it out because I couldn't find anyone to teach me, and I was just like trying to learn this stuff. So I found the channel very helpful for that too. And like over time, I thought, it'd be really cool to be a forest monk because I was hearing him
Mm.
describe what the forest monks would do. And although we're not in the North Woods anymore, it's still like an amazing experience out here. Um, so I I just kind of put that in my mind, like I want to do this. I want to go there and do this. And then years later, I'm grateful that I was able to make it happen um, with the help of my partner and some other people. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm here. I I chose to come here because I didn't want to just learn these skills and like learn for like, prepping for the end of the world or something. I wanted to learn these skills, but I wanted to like connect with nature. I wanted to deeply connect with nature. That's what I wanted. So there's your answer.
And you were talking too about, uh, I guess for lack of a better word, about also sharing these
Yeah,
skills. I
I want to
mean,
help other people. I want to share, especially with maybe women and girls from my community, but anyone really. I just would love to share like how much magic there is out here that in the world, just everywhere, and we don't always see it. We just pass it by, but it's everywhere.
you've gotten really good at seeing that. I mean, Merthe and I were laughing together. We knew when that spider came down that it was going to catch your eye at some point, and everything would stop for that spider.
Yeah.
And I mean, right before this, we were talking about, with your friends. I feel like there's, and I'm getting I'm changing tack already. See,
That's fine.
when we have any experience that's powerful for us, and then just referencing this one in particular, and then we go back to our family and friends, it can sometimes feel like, oh, there's things we want to share, or it can even feel like, as you were alluding to, some of the ways that are normal back in regular life can now almost be a little bit painful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and can I share that about the music?
Yeah.
We're in the transition back to civilization phase. You were listening to some music this morning. You loved the experience, and but you also said you felt a sense of relief when you turned it off.
Yeah.
And so, what was happening there? A new appreciation for something that was always there, or recognizing.
I mean, I've always kind of felt that a bit. Like if I play music for too long, then I'm like, okay, all right, it's time to be done. I need to calm down now, like calm my brain down. But I don't know, I really felt it out here just because it's been a long time since that's happened. And it's kind of when you don't experience something for a while and you experience it again, it's like you really notice things about it. And yeah, I felt a lot of relief turning the music off. I loved listening to it. I listened to several songs and then I thought, okay, it's time to be done. And it just felt so good to turn it off and listen to the birds because I like their music. I don't get sick of their music, usually. Except when it's really early and I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, I guess music has a way of drowning out everything else there is to be heard and to be felt in your world. And music takes your emotions to a different level. And sometimes I lose track of where they are taking me and if I want to go there. And sometimes I just want to go back to,
Yeah.
feeling what is around me. And yeah, I can imagine that's the point where you want to turn it off and
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
let the water settle in the bowl
Mm.
again,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you volunteer at home. You have family. Are there certain things? I mean, you've been on a lifelong quest,
Mm.
spiritual quest, but are there certain things that have unfolded for you here that you want to share with people? And if so, I mean, this brings up that idea of how do we share? Because of course people don't take well to force change,
No.
and a lot of the things that we experience out here are so foreign to our our regular minds that it can seem, bizarro that there could be anything good in, like, you sat in the woods for three
Mm-hmm.
days in a little space. Yeah, that sounds like torture.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't always pleasant. Was that question directed at me or her? Who's
Mostly here, but it's for all of us.
Okay. Well, there, I have a role in a garden community near my home and several other organic agricultural communities around my city in Amsterdam. And these communities they organize like events for adults and children to enjoy the harvest or to enjoy the beauty of the flowers in the summer. And um, usually I just take the logistics upon me because I think, just doing what has to be done, that's more what I do well. And I leave other people to do the playful things, to go and just make fire somewhere, or to do a spring rite thing ceremony, or to tell stories about wonderful things. I usually keep myself to the background, and now I feel like I have something to share. When these events come, I may just have a different role this time, and I may just start fires with kids and just fry sausages over the fire and try frying marshmallows in that beautiful way that you do and blow it. But okay, I think I feel more freedom to do the playful things and to fail at them. And I think, we did certain skills, we use certain skills so many times a day, for such a long time that it's impossible that there was no advancement somehow. So I think that when uh, I just do whatever comes and it's not perfect at all, that other people may think, oh, we've never done that before. That's new to us. Wow, we would like to try that once. Same goes for wild edibles. I took some tours by people that I looked up to who showed me that you can eat plantain and now there are so many wild edibles that we know and have used and have experience with, and we no longer think of it as something you read in a book, but we lived that. So yeah, I guess I grew whiter. Not Yeah, also because I had so much peanut butter
And cheese.
and cheese, but I
And I was a
also
bad influence on you.
grew like there's more space in my heart to be myself. There's more space in my heart to fail and to share and to be playful and to just enjoy that and not think of how it comes across. So yeah. is,
Yeah.
is that an answer to your
Yeah,
question?
yeah. And speaking of wild foods, before we go anywhere
Hmm?
else with this, when you came here, you experienced s'mores for the first time in your
Oh
life.
dear. Oh my god, yeah. Never thought I'd get such unhealthy food here. It really amazed me. But there's an art to how do you say that? Frying them? To
To roasting them.
Roasting a
roasting them?
marshmallow? Yes.
I'm not patient enough for it.
No.
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
everyone.
Wait. But you got good at the chicken thighs. That takes. It's an
That's because
hour
I
and a half.
depend on them. Marshmallows are like a treat, and I'm impatient. Kenton makes the. Everyone who doesn't know this, Kenton makes the best roasted marshmallows, like perfect, but he doesn't eat them. He never eats them. He loves to roast marshmallows for other people.
I guess that's how we experience Kenton in many ways. He loves cooking up wonderful situations for other people, and he loves
And food.
watching how they enjoy that and how they
Mm.
how that experience works out for them. And he's just making one marshmallow experience after the other for us. So
Aw,
and there's
thank you.
chocolate inside. And sometimes when you don't look out, there's going to be spillings on your trousers and you won't be able to wash for 3 months. But okay, that's all part of it.
Oh, but you really did take the wild food stuff. Okay, so I guess from the beginning, for instance, I start people with matches and then we
Mm.
move to flint and steel. You never touched matches except when we were sealing the end of paracord sometimes for an exercise.
Or
Yeah.
doing like the matched fire challenge or
Oh,
something.
yes,
Yeah.
we
The
did a
fire
match
match.
fire
Yeah.
challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But you never even, we went straight to flint and steel and then, um, and with the wild foods, wow, you make these salads. Is this almost every day?
Almost every day.
It's all wild greens. It's incredible. I remember seeing that salad container. It's just
Mm.
filled up. And I don't know if anybody I've ever had has taken the wild food part so seriously. You two jumped on that and have been making that a regular part of your diet,
Yeah.
supplemented by peanut butter.
Yes.
Oh well,
Yes.
I guess we had peanut butter supplemented by cress and the salads.
Oh my goodness. So watercress is a large part of that.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
You're eating tons of mushrooms
Oh yeah.
until
Oh yeah.
those weren't resting as well with your
Yeah.
belly. Okay.
Yeah.
And you continue to eat
Oh, yes.
massive amounts of
And
mushrooms.
they're all mine. Nobody else eats them. So yeah, the woods are filled with them.
And everyone who gets into foraging kind of realizes this. Like, there's food everywhere. It's growing everywhere, and people don't know it. It's like a crime that people don't know that there's free food everywhere, and it's not just like leaves. It's like good leaves with nice flavors, like seasoning. Like Minarda tastes like a seasoning that you put on something, and like like all these different types of mint and like garlic mustard and just
Oh.
Yeah. Now we have berries. Ooh,
and now
the
we have
berries.
service berries. Oh, I can't stop eating them.
I think this is going to be a lot about food.
Probably.
Oh wow. Yeah, you two appreciate food.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that shows. And it's yeah, so it's very exciting for me that you got so excited about the wild edibles. And that's I mean it's such a truth. I think we were standing talking about teaching wild edibles and things yesterday and just standing by a patch of ground and giant salad sitting there.
Yeah.
We stepped
Right.
over to another one and a completely other giant salad
Right.
of all these
We
greens.
step on your porch and we see begonia. And
Oh,
begonia's not
People
really
might
wild,
not
but
people might not know about this.
oh my
Do you want
gosh.
to? Okay.
Begonias are so good. Just eat the petals. Make sure it's an actual begonia. Eat the petals. It'll blow your mind.
Incredible. And to know, like different begonia flowers, plants, will have different flavors.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's all in that range that you've tasted, but the one that was it Liliana that started you on that?
Yeah.
That one we have discovered as our favorite. I mean, that one is just so good. The Forager's Chef book that I gave you yesterday, it's nice because he doesn't just do wild edibles, but it's a lot of garden plants.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You know, there's I think we talked about, we haven't eaten any of it. The hostas.
I tried
The
a bit 'cause you
hostas? I
told
thought
me.
only snails like hostas.
Yeah.
No, you can eat the young
Hostas.
leaves of them.
Oh my
Isn't that
god! I will be next to the snails next time, sitting in the
Yeah.
garden on my knees, just munching
Maybe
on
the
the
snails
hosta.
know something that we don't, you know?
Oh.
We
Oh
should.
yeah.
There's so many garden plants, flowers and
Mhm.
things and like a hosta that you don't think of as a food, but oh my goodness. The basswood leaves, did you like those?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Sure, we had them in our salad many times.
Those
Yeah.
were good. And part of me, well, lots of me, wishes you were here longer. There's the blackberries are crazy this year.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna miss those, unfortunately, but oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you can just imagine. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the high bush cranberries, I don't see them either.
Yeah, they're
That's
not.
unfortunate.
So there's a lot of stuff that will come after you are gone. Yeah, the high bush cranberry is not really fruiting this year in the same way.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
The wild apple trees, the high, not the, because they're not really wild. You know, there were no native apple trees here.
Really? Those were brought by Europeans?
Yeah,
I
these
didn't know
were
that.
all brought over supposedly. And so,
Okay. Learning every day here.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of the people that watch, maybe there's some forest monks watching, and they've done what you've done. But for most of us, we live so immersed in civilization, whatever culture we live in, and I'm just going to talk about civilization as its own little culture, even though so to simplify things, and it's hard to think. We think of our culture as reality, and things outside of that as either they don't even exist because we don't give thought to them.
Yeah.
Or often they are backwards or wrong or otherwise.
Or they don't even come up in our minds as a possibility. We don't even go there. We don't even.
Yeah. So you've then stepped out of that world for a little while. And this is a big question, but how are things different here? And what are some of the big, not just tangible differences, but feeling differences, if that makes sense, that that maybe would be nice to communicate to people, to let people know that if you do find some way to step outside of your civilized world, maybe you take a month walking a trail or hiking or camping or doing something, and you don't bring your phone or your watch, and you immerse yourself into another world. What's waiting there for people?
Well, I can share that my anxiety completely disappeared. It's gone. I just, it's gone. And I think a lot of it's because I'm not on a phone. I don't, I don't know what's going on in the world. Well, mostly, I am focused on what's happening around me instead, and the people around me, and what I can do here, like directly. Um, and there's also less noise, and noise, although sometimes it can be welcome, it does cause stress to the body. So I don't know. It's hard to give advice because I don't live in a city right now, but I've lived in cities before, and you can't always control your environment. But if you can steal any wild thing that you can get, do it.
Take that.
Take it.
Seize that moment.
Take it. If you're like, oh, I want to quit my job, but like I'm afraid to, but like there's something calling me and I have to go do it because this is my one life and I need to go do it. I want to go like backpack Nepal or something. I don't know. I'm just making something up. Like you have to do it. You have to go do
Wow.
it. Like I'm sorry. Like I know it's scary, but you have to do it because this is your one life.
Yeah.
This is it. You know.
Wow.
I would like to add, you don't really need to go to Nepal
No,
to
you
get
don't.
that.
You don't.
You can do it right here, right now.
Yeah.
And if you turn off all that noise that Eden was talking about, then there's so much sensory stimulation just in being in a yard or garden, just feeling the wind in your face, just listening to the sounds of nature around you, immersing in that, watching the clouds change shape all the time, being in a storm like we were yesterday. We were sitting on the porch, I think it's called, and we were watching the rain coming down. Like it was raining cats and dogs, and then suddenly
Yeah.
it was over, and the clouds were so amazing, and the feeling, the vibration in the air changed all the time. There's so much stimulation in just being there with it. And when you're in between four walls and roof over your head and having music on and the telly going all the time, you get to miss all that.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's only uh, boredom on the other side if you turn that off. But gee, isn't it boring to have all that noise thrown over you all the time? You
Yeah.
don't get to feel what is around you. So
Yeah.
Nepal is wonderful, and I may go there. I was in India once, but I think there's far more to discover right in front of you than
There
you know.
is like, and I feel like going outside will get you there. If you sit inside a quiet room where there's not, there's not a lot of things going on, I mean, then yeah, boredom is a lot easier to make happen, I guess. Yeah. But if you go outside, like, it turns down what does it do? It floods your body with like positive chemicals or something. It like calms you down,
Yeah, I guess it does.
and you can watch the birds. I mean, seriously, there's so much going on. Like, you can just sit there and watch bugs and see what they're doing, and they actually can do really interesting things if you watch them long enough.
There's somebody
And
else
there's
I
no.
watched. There's somebody else I watched during these 3 months though.
Me? What?
Well, when
Who?
when you have television and radio and internet and your telephone, you don't get to talk to each other as much.
No.
And we were complete strangers to each other. Okay, you were very kind to me. You helped me come here and make arrangements, and I got to sleep at your in-laws' house before I got here. But we got to know each other in a way that people, I think, rarely get to know each other without all that destruction.
Mm-hmm.
We were just there in the mud together and having to wither it, and weather it. I'm not sure what the word is. Having to get through that, and we had to put up with each other's, well, sometimes moods or irritations
Yeah.
um, or wonder or ridiculous humor or bowel spasms or whatever. But that has been so valuable to me, Eden. I just want you to know that it was real. It was a joy. It was practice, um, and it was pretty intense. Even though it was, I think we had a calm energy together. But you don't get to do that everywhere in every situation. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I didn't do anything except come here, so.
I feel like that's left out of this often, is that recognition that, it's easy to, or I guess what I'm trying to say is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
The connection between people, I think, is different when there's not so much noise.
Yeah.
And so we can live with people our whole lives, feel like we know them, but sometimes there's so much noise that it's not anywhere as intimate and connected as it could be if we shed a little bit of that noise. And so yeah, I feel like that's one of the big things we're missing out on in civilization sometimes is the human connection.
Yeah.
And not just because we're there's the obvious ways that we think about that, but you're talking about a deeper level of connection than even we would consider to be deep. I mean, this is another layer
Yeah.
that's waiting there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of these treasures that's maybe a human birthright almost.
Yeah,
That
I
gets
think it is. I think it is a human birthright. That's kind of taken away.
smushed down by the yeah.
But there's also another side to that. I remember there was a birthday party. The neighbors had a birthday party for one of their children, and the sound of that party was so different from any other children's party that I've ever heard, because I never really liked children's parties, not when I was a child and not later, because there is loud music, there is crying and yelling and fighting and chaos, and it tires me out a lot. But
Yeah.
this party, somebody was singing beautifully, and is that a May tree that I the
Maypole. The
maypole. So
maypole.
they put
Yeah.
on the maypole, and the children were dancing around the maypole, and there was no other music than just singing and maybe one musical instrument or something, and it was joyful and connected, and I was going like, oh, this is possible to have a party this way, and you know, without all that overload, and
Yeah. Oh,
then
I
we
feel
had the
that.
parties here near the fire, and people came over and they chatted just very uh, cosily and happily. With there was
There's no music at all,
no music,
except
the
for sometimes
fire.
when Kenton brings an
Yeah,
instrument. But like,
but such a good
yeah,
atmosphere, and you don't need to play loud music, and you don't have to have you know um, set up conversations, and you don't have to feel like, oh, what am I going to say to this person because I
yeah,
feel like I don't fit in. No, everything was so natural, and that is also nature, but it's nature between people. It's not so much nature out there, and I guess it blends. So how do you feel about that, David?
I agree.
Does it
I'm,
resonate with you?
it does. I mean, I'm not categorically against loud music all the time. It's just that there's way too much of it, and it's kind of a distraction, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
You're saying maybe you could appreciate music more if it's not going
It's
all the
if it's
time.
not going all
Mm-hmm.
the time, if it's not
Like you loved it
constantly in the
when you
background.
listened, right?
Oh, I loved
It was
it. Yeah.
yes.
But it was nice to turn it off too, you know. You just keep going and overstimulate your brain all day, then it's kind of exhausting.
Yeah, there comes a
Yeah.
moment where you cannot hear what you're hearing anymore.
Oh,
And
and I have a
yeah.
little story to share. I already shared it. with Kenton a while ago, but I I I like always have songs stuck in my head. I've been here for 3 months, and only sometimes do I get some quiet in my head. It's like ridiculous. I don't know. It's just my brain. But one morning I woke up in the yurt with this song about politics running through my head, and I'm kind of a political thinker. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a bad song, but yeah, it was running through my head. And then I step outside and I hear the birds singing, and the birds were far superior.
Mm.
I think the birds know what they're talking about.
I love that they're adding so much to our.
Yeah.
You were talking about bugs, and you gave me a really cool part of the neatest, one of the neatest things for me about this, doing this, is how much I get enriched by the people I work with and connect with. This morning, this was this morning you saw that ant with the water drop, and can you briefly describe that?
Okay, well, the weather has been really rainy and kind of crazy. So last night it rained. So this morning I woke up and I saw beautiful water droplets like jewels all over the blades of grass. And I just spent some time leaning over, just looking at like an ant just crawling on the blade of grass trying to navigate these water droplets. And I don't know what the ant was doing. She was going back and forth like over and over. And then I saw her crawling back down, and she got to this big water droplet and like bumped into it, and nothing happened. It just jiggled, and then she kept going. Like, yeah, the surface tension didn't break, and water's different to the small creatures. Yeah, I don't know. It's just cool.
When you said that, it just gave me a visceral feeling of, water is a certain thing to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has in general, kind of a flat shape unless something's moving it,
Yeah.
and to recognize that to somebody else, water is it's a dome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a
like a blob.
squishy dome that they probably can't even push into it, right? I mean, they have to drink somehow, so maybe they can like
Yeah, I don't
bite in with
know.
their incisors and take chunks, but it's a totally different experience, a totally different substance almost.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a way that happens with us with, like bird song. It can be just a pretty thing, but when we're in our civilized mind, but we spend enough time out here, and then it can take on something else, a different substance, and so many things do that.
And I've experienced that with the catbirds because they make. First of all, they're just funny because they go meow and they sound like cats, but they also make a ton of other calls. At least I'm pretty sure it's them doing it. They just make all these squeaky, funny sounds that are very varied. It's like they don't do the same thing over and over. They like are varying their sound all the time, and it sounds like they're talking, like they're chattering, they're gossiping about something. I don't know. We hear them all the time because they live near our camp, and I just feel like they're talking about something. They're just going back and forth like like
I'm just going to the peanut butter again.
they're
talking about you.
They're gossiping about us. Okay, no, just kidding.
Oh my god. So this is all great, but a lot of people don't want to go out into nature because it's uncomfortable. So first of all,
yeah,
are you willing to show us your pants?
Yes, I am.
Your martial arts pants?
I am.
Your gi pants came. These were pristine white.
Yeah, I want to show you guys. Look, this was a white gi. I also have a gi top. It's maybe worse. I don't know. Yeah, it's never going to be the same. Nor am I.
Nor are you, and that's great.
I must say I really had. It's not a phobia, but I know. I really like to be clean, and I had a hard time going out in the rain and doing jiu-jitsu and getting pretty dirty and and especially because we're not able to shower now. We just wash ourselves with a cloth or something. So yeah, and we don't have so many things to wear here, so we need to wash like regularly. And then even then, it doesn't get clean, of course, because you wash with cold water. Um, so yeah, I had to grow accustomed to that. And yesterday, I found myself rolling in the mud with a bunch of nice people, and actually enjoying it and not minding where my knees landed and if it got worse. It cannot get any worse. Look at me.
Exactly. So just let it be,
So
let it
yeah,
happen. That's awesome.
yeah, that's new for me, and I'm really enjoying it. Not having to mind if things are going to be clean again. I think I'm going to leave this one here. So
No, you should take it home and frame it,
I feel
although
like
it's
it's a
part of your
treasure.
luggage.
Because
yeah,
as you say, you did come here, let's say, a little resistant to being dirty.
oh
Would that be true?
yes, yeah.
Yes.
It
Okay.
was hard for me to go out of the yurt and to go to camp because there's nowhere you can put things and have them clean.
I know, it's like mud
No,
and dirt and
yeah.
everything's dirty, and you wash things and they're dirty
Yeah,
again.
and the cloth you use to dry clean things are dirty, so you make them dirty right away.
And then
So
things get rained on.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get your gut bacteria, of course. They have a very new experience. Yeah, but yeah, I guess you get used to it, and then it starts not being so important anymore, and yeah, life goes on.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Does the dirt cease to be visually? It
Mhm.
interrupts the white, so it
Yeah.
feels dirty. But I suppose if you think about soil, it's this marvelous living thing that nourishes everything. And if I would think about it like that, I might
Mm.
go to a spa and get a mud mask or something.
Well, yeah.
Does it start
Don't
to
elephants
transform?
like
Yeah.
bathe
I think,
themselves in dirt?
yeah.
I actually noticed something interesting. So the cast iron pan that we cook with always has grease on it. It's just a mess, like on the bottom of it, and it gets on your hand. It's like black, and you can try to clean your hand, but you have to kind of scrub to get it off. But I experimented and I just put like mud on my hand or dirt that was kind of damp, and then I removed it and it was gone. Like the dirt just
What?
pulled it away.
So you
So
always have
dirt can
to.
help clean you actually.
Yeah.
So dirt. Okay. So dirt is not necessarily.
There was a time when people cleaned their floors with just sand and water.
That's true, right?
Right.
Really?
So
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
And if you went into a bar, they would put sand on the floor and brush it out, and then the floor would be clean again. So
Wow.
and it's not so many chemicals needed anymore.
No, I didn't
Okay.
know that.
I'm going to ask you another question, and I'm going to set up a little thing around our. We're getting a little more wind, which can make some wind sound on our microphone. So I'm going to set up a little shield
Okay.
around it.
Okay.
Bugs. This is the other big one for most people.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's lions and tigers and bears, but what about the bugs?
Yeah.
Thank goodness there are no bears where we are currently. I think all the forest monks in the Northwoods were really hardcore. They did like a 3-day fast alone out there when there were bears. I don't know.
Would that be scary?
Guys,
That'd be scary.
if
I would
you
do
are
it. I would do
watching,
it, but it'd be scary.
What do you want to say to those who did face the bears?
They would probably tell us though that the bears are not that bad. But what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just going to express my awe and yeah, I'm really looking up to you guys. If you were in a forest with bears, but then maybe I would have gotten used to it. I don't think I would have gone anyway. If there had been bears, I wouldn't have been.
You would have done it.
I
I
wouldn't
think I
have
would
done
have
it.
done it, but I would have definitely had another thing to worry about.
But bugs.
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 What about them? Just our experience with bugs?
People don't want to come out into the woods because of bugs, mosquitoes, ticks, spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's real. Like I used to be afraid of spiders. I used to be really afraid of spiders. Like I was too afraid to even try to catch one and take it outside because I was afraid it would like somehow get out of the cup and like crawl in my hand or something. I don't know, but I overcame my fear and I actually love spiders now. They're one of my favorite animals. Just I overcame it through just observing them and learning kind of what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. And then I understood their behaviors, and yeah, that's it. Just exposure and education. But that's beside the point. Um, Bugs really aren't as bad as we've been brought up to believe they are. I'm not gonna lie though, the biting gnats out here drive me nuts. They hurt so bad. But that's the only thing. Everything else, I mean, even the mosquitoes, like, there aren't that many around here, so we're very lucky, but they still were feasting on my legs yesterday. But I've personally noticed, I don't know if this is true for everyone, but I personally noticed that when I just let them bite me, then they don't itch as much afterward, and the itches kind of go away faster. So, I don't know.
And now I'm remembering because you told me that the other day. Was that even just yesterday? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was another forest monk who ended up saying that same thing. And he was wondering if, when we slap, we're we're probably doing that out of a state of tension. I wonder, among the other things we were wondering, if some of that, just adding that tension and cortisol to the mix, maybe changes the effect. Where if you're just letting them go, maybe we were thinking when you swat them, something gets spat out of them, or maybe at the end they inject something that makes it so that you don't know they were there, and then you're rewarded for letting them take all the blood. Right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not encouraging. If you live in like a malaria risk zone, obviously I'm not encouraging this, but in general, yeah, like, I don't know, you can transform your relationships with things. I know it's like, it probably sounds crazy, and you're like, no, ew, like, no, but it's kind of cool to watch a mosquito suck your blood and just see it fill up with your blood, and then that blood is flying away into the who knows where to become eggs, to feed some other animal, to feed some other animal, to feed some plants. You're part of it. You're part of this. You're part of nature, you know? So that's kind of cool. And I also, by letting them bite me, I discovered a certain type of mosquito here that doesn't make me itch. It's actually magic. There's like a type of mosquito that doesn't bother me. So these things you learn when you just let go. Nature's not out to get you.
I've claimed that before. Some people are a little contentious about that. They feel like nature is really mean.
I mean, I'm not saying it's always nice.
Right.
Especially if you're being stalked by a lion or something, but I don't think that happens much. Like, especially if you're a human, we don't really have predators that much. Like, we're very lucky.
And when we go out into nature, correct me if I'm wrong here, you spend some serious time out there, then a lot of the things that we think of as the really dangerous things, let's talk a lightning storm.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it has the power to just zap you and you're dead.
Yeah.
But the experience of it, the subjective experience of a storm, can become, as you were relating, marvelous.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to die at some point, so I mean, we can live in fear our whole lives, or we can go into an experience like that storm and revel in it.
It can be exciting,
thrill at it.
you know? It can be, people go on roller coasters, people watch scary movies, you know, for a reason, because it makes you feel alive, you know?
Yeah.
That's what a lightning storm can do.
What I found really amazing is that we are taught here to try and feel things more, even if they are challenging. For instance, um, we received really nice shoes that are more like socks than shoes, and we both discovered that even if you don't go barefoot all the time, just having a sense of your feet on the soil gives you so much more stability, so much more idea of where you are and where you can step and where your balance is. And when we go down the slope to the river, there's a river down here where we have to go to forage. We don't want to go on our regular shoes because we feel much more prone to falling and to slipping than with our barefoot or those socks on. And I feel like the martial arts has been the same. The first time we went out to the woods to do sparring, I was so afraid of all the obstacles that were standing in my way, and I was overwhelmed and felt like this is not going to happen. And then um, we got some instruction and some experience, and somehow your body finds a way to work with those obstacles. They're no longer obstacles, they're like entities, more like they are there and you can meet them, and sometimes they work with you, sometimes they work like in a painful way, but it's no longer I mean, if you feel like there's a glass wall between you and the rest of your surroundings, there's far more there that can hurt you because you don't feel how to flow with it. You don't feel how to get out of harm's way or how to roll with it. So actually, that's far more dangerous than being connected and accepting that there's always a risk. So yeah, that was so valuable to me to not only know but to experience every day.
Yeah. Yeah, the tree is not an obstacle. It's like a thing you can flow with. It's a thing you can grab. You actually, that was freaking awesome. When we were fighting in the woods and she got Kenton like trapped and she like was holding a tree like a koala. Like she was like wrapped around this tree, like holding him there, and he could not like get out because the tree helped her. You know?
I maybe have that on film. If I do,
Dude,
I'll
I
put
hope you
that
do.
out.
I hope you do. I don't know, but
Is that when I had the
that was
camera?
awesome.
Yeah, you just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I cannot climb trees at all, but in that instant, I could climb that tree.
And I feel like that's kind of the theme. Well, I don't know if you can disagree with me, but I feel like that's kind of the theme of what we've been learning here is you don't have to fight things, you can flow with them and they can help you, or they can, like I've been practicing going barefoot on the gravel road pretty much every day for the last 3 months, and at first it hurts, but then your feet get used to it, and then your feet kind of curl around the rocks in a way where you can not hurt so much when you walk on them. And it doesn't have to be, if you get all tense and your feet are all tense, then it hurts. But if you kind of relax and let your toes spread out a little and kind of, and you build the calluses because it does hurt for a while, then it's not so bad anymore. I don't know. Then you can just flow with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what I would like to communicate to any of you watching is that it is going to be uncomfortable to open yourself up, to ease into things you are scared of, to feel that apprehension in the coming up of your energy, and it's worth it. It will pay off to feel that and to not run away, to stay in it, to just feel panic for a while
And breathe and let it be there.
Right. For
Welcome it. Welcome it.
Right.
Yeah.
And panic is actually an opportunity and a door to things that you have always wished and didn't know that you loved and you wanted. So please find somebody's hand to hold. Find somebody to hold you as you go through that, or think of somebody who loves you or whatever. But you can do it, and you don't even have to do it. It will be done for you if you just open up and if you just express the wish to go deeper.
Your higher self is asking you to do it. You gotta do it.
This is becoming very, very spiritual.
Well, also just in general. Sorry.
We need peanut butter to come down to.
But like, if you do things you're uncomfortable with, then you become comfortable with those things that you used to be uncomfortable with, and then your comfort zone is huge. There you go. What were you gonna say?
just that, yeah, it's spiritual, but I think most of us have something. You're speaking to all of us because all of us usually, there's something there that we're, what if I did this thing I wanted to do, or I tried this thing, but often, the sensible route prevails, and really
Yeah.
the fears
Yeah. Yeah.
of that are instilled in us, because it makes much more sense to take the safe route and the route that's been walked by many feet. I feel like we should end the video on that speech because that was so powerful.
Yeah, I know.
But is there anything else you two want to share? Thoughts or stories? Or, I mean, obviously we could talk for hours and hours if we wanted to, but
Yeah.
I guess the other big thing that's happening now is going back into the regular world, and you two are probably charging yourself with not just having this be a 3 months where you did some stuff and then you go right back to your exactly the way you were
Exactly how we
living
were
before.
before. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, I want to say what I said earlier, but it just sounds so conceited.
Okay, girl,
I
go for it.
I I feel like being here has been an opportunity that I'm so grateful for that so many people don't have. And I feel like a free bird. And I feel like I have to go back to a cage, and I'm not happy about it. But I thought this morning maybe I can go back and actually open the door for other people. So if you've ever been a free bird or experienced something that really made you grow, you should do that too. You should open the door for other people. And if you're not, we're opening the door for you now. This is your sign, okay?
Or maybe there's no door to begin with.
Maybe the door is all in. No, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is no door. Huh. The door is in our minds. The door is like constructed, but it's not real. It's like you can reach through it if you just try, but you don't need,
There's
no, you
just
can't.
space.
It's
Just space. Nah. Beautiful, Eden.
and you. You have anything to share?
I think I had my speech just then. I think that was about it.
That was pretty powerful,
Okay.
I
That was
gotta say.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, friends, thank you for watching. If anybody's stayed with us this whole time, thanks for being here. And I felt like I got a lot out of hearing you two talk. So hopefully it's inspired some people to, yeah,
Thank you.
explore a little bit.
We wish you the best of luck. We wish you beautiful summer, and who knows?
Or
Maybe,
winter if you're in
yeah.
Australia or New Zealand.
Oh, all right. Well, please talk with us in the comments. It's always super fun to hear from you down there. And love to you all.
Namaste.